On today. So for more, let's welcome a member of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds. Senator, great to have you on with us this morning. A busy week on Capitol Hill. We saw Tulsi Gabbard get confirmed yesterday, but your fellow Republican Senator Mitch McConnell voted no, the only Republican to do so. Your reaction?
Look, each one of us has the opportunity to make our own vote, and as long as we're not surprising leadership or creating havoc there, we all respect the fact that each of us has to make up our own mind. We respect that. That's a part of the Senate's tradition, and it's okay. When we know what the plan is, we're executing it, we're getting it done. We're in line with what we told the president we were going to do as a team to begin with, and that was to advance the agenda, but also to get his team in place. Every president deserves the benefit of the doubt on the individuals that he wants to execute that. And you're seeing that right now in the United States Senate as we literally are doing almost at a record pace the nominations process, getting it done, getting them in place, and building that team.
So, Senator, looking forward, I know RFK Jr. be about 10:30 this morning, a couple of hours from now. Looks like it might be closer than we saw with Tulsi, but he still gets through. Is that what your read is right now?
Yeah, look, I don't think we'd have a vote if we didn't have the votes ready to go. That's one thing that leadership has been very, very good about, is making sure that everything is in place and ready. We're talking with one another. We're sharing whether or not we have concerns. And in this particular case, Senator Thune has made it very clear that they'll work with each member to get us to the point where we're comfortable with our final decision. So I expect that if the vote has been scheduled, it'll be a successful vote. We're moving them through, like I say, literally a record pace. And we're getting the job done because we need to make changes in Washington. The president deserves to have his team, and we're putting those people in place. And then let's get on with this agenda. Let's cut the size of the federal government and get these bureaucrats back to where they ought to be at the right level. So we're getting there. It was the first time ever that I can remember where we've had a Congress that's actually had a partner working to actually reducing the size of the federal government. And to have a president who's ready to do that is extremely helpful to us. We want to make sure that we give him the tools that he needs to get the job done.
And I know the Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to vote today on whether to send Director of FBI nominee Kash Patel to a floor vote. Meanwhile, though, the top Democrat on that committee, Senator Dept, is accusing Patel of lying under oath about his involvement in a recent FBI overhaul. I know that you have been very outspoken about Kash and the need to get him confirmed. Why is he the right guy for this job? And why are your Democratic colleagues such a hard no on this?
Well, I think each one of them will have their own reasons for having a hard no on him, but I can tell you why I'm in favor of Kash becoming the next director. Number one, he has a background of law enforcement that sometimes he can't talk about. Second of all, he understands the connection between our national security and what the FBI does. Some of that we can't talk about because some of the work that he did was classified to begin with. My discussions with him in the office clearly pointed out the fact that he understands that we want the FBI to be focused on crime and not necessarily on political agendas. And we've both seen in the past what happens if you have FBI agents that are focused on the wrong thing. A lot of really hard-working, good, solid law enforcement officers in the FBI, but occasionally political appointees can get out of line. Kash Patel understands that. He is a patriot. We know what he was able to do in the first Trump administration and work that he did on national security. I think he's the right guy for the job. He's seen both sides of the issue there at the FBI, and I'm ready to support him.
Yeah, Senator, later today, Linda McMahon will have her first hearing to be the Secretary of Department of Education. About 10 a.m. Eastern, I think, is when that starts. Of course, the president's been very clear. He wants the Department of Education eliminated. He wants Linda to eliminate her own job. And since the founding of our country, schools, education have been a state priority. I'm not sure why this is such a controversial move to giving power back to the states.
I totally agree with you. Back in 2015, I said that I was in favor of eliminating the Department of Education. We've taken the last year and a half to actually write legislation that would do the right kind of a job to eliminate the Department of Education, take some of those most important and critical functions, such as special education needs, hearing for the deaf programs, Title I programs, IDEA and so forth, that people really get concerned about, because these are items that have been authorized by Congress, and move them back to the departments that they were in before the Department of Education even existed, and get rid of about $1.3 billion in federal bureaucracy out of that. And bigger than that, get decision-making back to the states where it belongs in the first place. And look, I think it's great to have somebody in the White House who feels the same way, and we've laid out a platform or a path forward to be able to do that in a very reasonable fashion. I had a chance to speak to the nominee earlier this week, and I'm looking forward to helping wherever we can to help organize that planned program so that the states can make the decisions, block grant the money. The states don't lose money in this particular deal, but at the same time, for those special programs that were there before, that so many people have worried, if you eliminate the Department of Education, what happens to special ed and so forth? We've done our best to make sure that those programs stay intact for those people that really need the help.
All right, Senator Mike Rounds, always great having you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.